Hey everybody, welcome to Jackson's and my video podcast thing, where we get together and we talk about different things. Today we're going to talk about grief and specifically career grief, about mourning the loss of jobs, identity, or even, our identity to that are tied to past or even potential careers that we thought that we wanted to take. Um, so yeah. So Jackson, off to you. How you doing?
Yeah, I am doing well. How are you?
Good, good.
Yeah, so today we got a couple stories from each of us.
Yep.
We both have two different kind of experiences with job loss. For me, it's more of a expectation of a job loss. Um, I guess I can start off with my story where I wanted to be an actor for, my entire life since I was 8 years old. And I was envisioned myself as being an actor, and that's what I was going to do. And I was going to be one of one of the greats in movies and film and be in Hollywood and whatnot. And near the end of my high school experience, I kind of started to grapple with what that really meant and what preceded that. And, sort of decide that I didn't really want to go down that route. I wanted to do something else for a career and just kind of keep acting more as a hobby on the side. And despite that being my own choice, there was still kind of this grief that I didn't really notice at first that came with that, just this loss of like this identity that I made for myself that I was going to be this famous person. I was going to be this well-known household name and like the lifestyle that comes with that. And yeah, no, it's interesting to kind of look at it that way because it's growing up, you always think, oh no, loss has to be like a death of a loved one or death of a pet or a loss
Hmm.
of this or that. But kind of realizing that it is a loss of a potential career path, a potential lifestyle. Um, yeah, no, it's quite interesting, and I don't know, it's helped me become more sure of myself and more sure of like this is what I want to actually do. Because I am still grieving that side of it, it's opened the door for in my opinion, a more suitable lifestyle for myself. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, when you first made that decision to change into counseling and life coaching and just do acting as a hobby, did you have any secondary losses, like friends or people that you hung around
I
with
mean,
but weren't?
in a way. Because I mean, I did move to Nanaimo, so
Hmm.
I kind of fell out of touch with all my friends from high school, or most of them at least. Definitely, especially in the theater aspect. Um, and there's the Canadian College of Professional Arts or whatever it was called that I was planning on going to. I even shadowed for a day there to kind of see what it was like. I saw some old friends from middle
Oh,
school, and so there was kind of a loss there too, I guess, because it's like a loss of like potentially going to school with them and experiencing what that was going to be like. Um, so yeah, and I guess just that routine and that idea of like, oh, I'm gonna get like an agent, I'm gonna get all these other things, and I'm gonna have this like this path and this like carve my own way through to becoming an actor. And so all these things kind of just like, oh, I guess I'm not really gonna do that as much. And part of it's definitely disappointing, but part of it's also kind of a relief because like, oh, I don't gotta do all that now.
yeah, just different organizations you're going to have to join when you're
Yeah,
done.
exactly.
So, what kind of coping strategies did you use?
I mean, I found just doing different theater stuff, just similar things, just like, making short films with friends or when I first moved to Nanaimo, getting back into the theater
Hmm.
community and doing like a play with Nanaimo Theater Group. Um, and so just still being able to do that thing, just not at the same level that I thought I was going to be doing it at this point in my life. Because if you asked 16-year-old me, it's like, oh, once I'm in my 20s, I'm going to be doing acting nonstop because I can, and I'll be like the perfect age range for all the roles I keep seeing. And now I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I prefer to keep it as a fun little pastime. But yeah, Yeah. Sorry, I forgot the question there for a second.
Well, so just what you did to help. What
Oh
made
yeah,
you,
just the coping.
yeah. So what made you go into counseling and life coaching?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different factors. It was kind of a idea that I had growing up as something else I kind of wanted to go into. Just I've always been a very personable person. People always
Hmm.
come up to me and ask me for just help with, I need, this person's doing this thing. Why would they be doing this? How can I deal with this? It's like, oh, I'm just very good at being objective in those ways. Um, but yeah, it was when my bonus mom actually started joining the Rhodes program and going through counseling there that I really started to look at, oh, there actually is this school that I can go and do this, and I have like, money from my grandparents that I can use for it. And take out some loans as well. And yeah, I kind of took like an extra 6 months. I was still working at the time and kind of just took the time to think about what I really wanted to do and if this is the course I wanted to go down.
Hmm.
And after kind of that long of deliberating, I decided, yeah, no, I want to try it, and I'm happy that I have because I feel like it's going to be a really good fit for just who I am as a person and how I can help people, and it still kind of ties into that acting a lot too. So it's a really just big side of myself that I'm still honoring with going down this career path.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you made this decision and took that extra 6 months so that we could be together and
Yeah,
embark on
exactly.
this journey and to do this. And yeah. So yeah, that's neat. I'm glad that I'm going to be selfish and say I'm glad that you changed your mind. And but yeah. So yeah. Um, my story is a little different, but pretty much the same. I was a nurse for 30 years, and the last 20 of it, I worked in a very high stressful situation and ended up seeing things I didn't want to see and going through things. And then I got sick with PTSD.
Mm,
And then when multiple people told me, yeah, you can't do this anymore. You're not allowed to do this anymore. And so it's like, okay, well, what can I do? And man, was I depressed. I was like, that's 30 years of my life. And I put myself through school and raised my kids on it. And it was just like, well, what can I do? Like what?
mhm,
And so after dealing with my PTSD and stuff, and my depression and my anxiety, and then going through that whole grief process of um, not going back. I was fine with not going back to where I was, but I always thought I'd still be a nurse. And then um, roads came up, and I'm like, hmm. So I talked to my counselor, and I talked to my workman's comp people, and they're like, well, let's retrain you. And then going through it, I always thought I'd go back into nursing, but as a counselor and like still do both roles, right? And then when the two different psychiatrists said, "Yeah, no, you're totally done nursing. You cannot do direct care anymore." I was like, and it was during class. Like I was in class with everybody, and it was like, "Oh my God, what do you, So I had a bit of an identity crisis because I've always been Nurse Candace. Um, but knowing that I had this to do was and having everybody in our cohort kind of help me through it and push me through it, it's helped. But yeah, man, total grieving process. Like it was weird not to you know. And then my girls would say, well, Mom, you're not a nurse anymore. Yeah, I'm not technically. I am still technically a nurse, but I'm not a nurse. So, like, according to the College of Nurses, I'm still a nurse, but I just can't,
yeah,
so
can't
it's
practice anymore.
right. So it's trying to leave that part is the hard part.
Hmm.
But yeah.
And yeah, as you said, it's a big identity. Like, 30 years is quite a while to be doing the same job, and you just get so in that rut. I mean, did it even feel like I think I already know the answer, but it even feel like it was possible to do anything else other than being a nurse at the time. Like until you got that news that you weren't allowed to, you kind of
Yeah.
seemed pretty dead set on going back into that nursing side of things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like even when my daughter was in the hospital and I was in mom mode when needed to be, I was in nurse mode. Like it was so hard not to. And then when my mom was in the hospital, it was like nurse mode. And like I even got onto the fire department and because I was a nurse and of course passed the physical stuff and all that stuff. But my first call I had to go to, it wasn't a fire, it was a medical call. And because I was a nurse and it was just like, and I did it, but it was still having it, and unfortunately it was doing CPR on a farmer, um, and having the spouse screaming and yelling. And unfortunately they didn't make it. So it was just that extra, yeah. I I knew then that, yeah, they're right, that I can't be a nurse, but it's still, like you said, 30 years is a long time.
Yeah.
So,
And I imagine, especially as a nurse too, there's lots of like routines that you get into and just these day in, day out kind of things. And I'm curious, even if some of the things you might not have enjoyed doing as a routine, you still kind of find yourself missing those and part of that, those secondary losses.
yeah, yeah, it's just, I was lost. I was wandering around like a zombie, like when I first went off. I've been off since 2021. But like it was 4 years. Holy cow. Um, but yeah, I know like getting up, going, doing, always knowing what's going on, the different policies and procedures and what I was allowed to do and what I wasn't allowed to do as a nurse and all that stuff. And then going into a totally different career and trying to figure that stuff out is like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like I'm 52 and I planned on retiring at 55. And now I probably still could, but I'm starting a new career. So what's the use of retiring at 55 when I'm going to be like only working about 2, 3 years? So it
Mhm.
was, you know, a lot of reflection and a lot of change in routine and a lot of forcing myself to get out of bed. Um, yeah, but and now when I hear Nurse Candace, I'm like, oh my God, oh no, it's an ex patient. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this
But
old ghost haunting you now, of, like
yeah,
your
yeah,
past self.
yep. But luckily, like I said, I had support with my family and with everybody in class. Like it was, and knowing that I'm now on the right, I made the right decision to stay in this and to do this, that I'm going to be helping people, but in a different way.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it'll be less on my plate because when I did this in my job, not only did I have to do like counseling stuff and psychoeducation stuff, I also had to do the nursey stuff. So now I don't have that's extra that I don't have to do. So I don't have to worry about, well, I will, but I don't have to worry about
Yeah.
interactions with meds and oh, they have a rash and is it contagious? And I don't have to
Hmm.
worry about that or getting blood work done for the guys. Like so ultimately, hopefully this job will be less stressful.
Yeah. No, I imagine
Yeah.
it would be for sure.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
still will have its moments for sure. There's always going to be certain cases and certain clients, but yeah, it's in a way more hands off, but also more hands on. It's more just like hands on in the brain, kind of like
Yeah,
let's really get to
yeah,
the root of why this is happening.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's yeah, yeah. So both of us have, different age ranges between us, but we both
Hmm.
experienced the same thing. Both of us and doing, wanting to do something or doing something for a long time, and all of a sudden it's like, well, no, we can't do that anymore. Um,
Yeah, that loss in identity, like
yeah,
even though, because for you it was identity that you identified with for a long time. And for me, I
yeah.
still identified for a long time, but still wasn't like in at that point. But still kind of had to grapple with that change in like who we are as a person and who we're going to be and what the future holds.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, very kind of two sides of the same coin.
And I don't know about you, but for me, the whole, well, why am I going through all of the stages of grief? Why am I in denial? Why am I in angry mode? Like why, like for me, that was like it's just a job. And then when I realized, oh geez, I'm grieving.
Yeah, I think for me, I did go through those different stages, but I didn't really notice it
Notice
until
it.
looking back at it now. Because
Yeah.
it wasn't like, because it wasn't someone else telling me I couldn't do it. It was just me deciding that's not what I wanted to do. If it was like I tried and then couldn't get it, that might be a different kind of grief where I actually felt that a bit more, especially like that denial phase.
Hmm.
Because for me, the denial was probably just like in that contemplation stage of if I wanted to do it or not. And then once I did, that's kind of, maybe get into the bargaining or something or the anger. But but yeah, it was definitely there was definitely yeah, they were definitely there, but I don't think it was really that strong or overpowering much of what I was doing. But if it was much more subconscious for sure.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like until like the grief until we started counseling, it was like, wow, geez, you can grieve jobs, you can grieve your friends, you can grieve, so it's wide eye opening for me. Um, and yeah,
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
well,
lots of stuff to talk about on
yeah,
that topic for sure.
definitely, definitely. So Jackson, thank you. I really enjoyed our short time together talking about
Hmm.
this and bonding over loss of identity and grief. But that it job loss or potential job loss or job no longer. Um, it's just I think it's great that two people of different generations can, connect that way and get the same, well, not the same, but get
Have a similar experience
thank
and
you.
kind of be able to share those experiences and see what the differences are too, because yeah, despite the generation difference, there's still a lot of similarities there, but then also differences just because of the time that goes into it, right? So
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I think the moral of the story is that it's okay to grieve and but to make sure that you practice your self-care and reach out for help. Um,
Mhm. Recognize when you are grieving too. That can be a hard one.
exactly. Yes, yes. And to be patient because career change and career loss takes time. Um, you might have to learn something new. And they can teach old dogs new tricks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey. So, I don't know. Is there anything else that we need to talk about this?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm
No,
sure we
that's
could talk about it for much longer. I'm sure there's lots of avenues to go down, but
definitely, yeah.
yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
for future episodes.
Yes, and we will be doing future episodes. We'll have to figure out something to talk about in the next couple of weeks and
Yeah,
do
exactly.
this. Okay. Well, thanks, Jackson, and I really enjoy this, and I will leave it at that, I guess. I don't
Yeah. Yeah,
know.
thank you. See you next time.
Okay, see ya.